Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2. So if you've watched the video before, if you haven't, go back and watch that first because that's what I got this done. You would have seen me color block, and that's the answer to the question at the end of the last video. Color block this water in. So now what I'm going to do is simply set up my camera, and I'm going to color block the actual island part and the sky. I love to start my canvases red. You'll see in the last video I chalked in, inked in with a burgundy paint, and then color blocked the shadows and everything. And I think it's kind of turning out magical. Stay with me. Let's see if I ruin it or if it turns out great. Okay, so a little bit of a closer view because I wanted you to see a little bit more of the detail that I'm doing in the reference photo. So again, the first part of this video was done earlier today. You're seeing it earlier this week. And this now is the color blocking of the top. So thank you for following along. Thank you for joining me on this one as well. Like and subscribe, because I want to do this for you always. And give me any questions. Give me any kind of comments. It's wonderful. It boosts the engagement here on YouTube. It shows my paintings to more people, and I surely appreciate that. So here we go. We're just going to jump right in today. It might be a shorter video. It might be a longer video than last time. We'll see as the spirit leads. We'll see how it goes. What I do want to say to begin with is that I'll probably build all the dark shapes first. And I will do the sky very last, but I'll do all the dark shapes first, and it kind of grounds me. And then I'll start layering in the light. Now this bottom part is not finished, so it's going to need layering too, but I really want to get this all fully color blocked before I go ahead and finish any of this, because this will counter this, and you know, I'll have to make adjustments. So I'm gonna paint. I'll probably do a little speed. I'll probably speed it up just a little bit, and so that you're not here for hours and hours with me. And I just wanted to explain, as I was thinking about how I'm starting, I wanted to give you that tip, that's how I start with the darker shades. Make sense? I posted this video not realizing that I hadn't done any music or any voiceover. So I have taken that video down. If you're one of the 90 people that saw that before I realized, I hope it was okay. I wonder what it was like watching it in complete silence. So I thought I would actually just do a little bit of a voiceover and discuss what I'm doing here, maybe come up with a clever story to tell you or whatnot, because I don't know. I don't think that you would sit and just watch a completely silent video. So there's the question of the day. Would you watch a silent video, or would you rather have me sit and talk and tell you what I'm doing? So you don't actually get a choice right now. I'm going to just sit here and talk through about 10 minutes worth of this video. So as I said, I usually start with the darker shapes. So I'm looking at this little island, and I'm identifying all the dark shadows and crevices in the rock. And I am picking up paint. I'm picking up paint, as I've discussed before in other videos. I mix right on the canvas. I do not mix on the palette. I tend to put my brush in a few different colors and blend right on to the canvas. I find that this gives me a real variance in my stroke. It makes each stroke really quite interesting, And I'm a color hog. I love all the colors. I buy all the colors. Whatever colors I like are on my palette. So here I brought the video in a little bit closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Again, I'm color blocking. I'm identifying areas. I'm treating them absolutely as shapes. So, doing a voiceover is actually quite interesting in evaluating why I'm doing things. Sometimes I look and I go, oh, that's really interesting, or I wonder why I'm doing that. But most of the time, I think my color blocking is identifying shapes, identifying planes, identifying grasses. Like you can see the green, I added some grass there, and then right there, I'm adding some grass, and I'm just identifying all over the canvas the different areas of now I'm losing it. I am absolutely like rambling at this point, but I think you know what I mean. So here we go. I'm going to start with the trees. Don't laugh at me too much because I don't know. I've spent the morning this morning in the studio, and I've been painting a few things with the paint that was left in my palette. No, see here, this is really neat. I love when this happens. I've done some darks, but then I jumped right into the light. I couldn't restrain myself. Doesn't that look kind of neat? So I paint the positive before I paint the negative. I'm actually really loving what is happening right now on the canvas with that tree. The shapes are beautiful. I'm loving it. I like the brightness of the tree that's sitting in front. Trees are my jam, guys. I absolutely love painting trees. So I'm painting and identifying with lots of different greens. And again, my technique of picking up different colors works for this because it's giving me a lot of variances in the trees and everything. So now I'm gone back to some rock formation and blocking that in, and just generally just getting my lights, my darks, and swiftly going into some lights there. I think what it does for me is it just gives me where I am in the painting and where I kind of want to go. I think I'm giving myself visual clues as I'm painting. And you'll notice that I step back from the canvas a lot, and I just stand and look and refill my palette. And so here we go. We're going to do another section of trees. I tend to love the greens that I have on my palette are green gold by Golden. Absolutely love green gold. I have a Viridian. I use a lot of turquoise and teal, actually. So that little tree there is actually mostly a teal. And then I blend all together. So then I have a couple of yellows that I'll blend in there. And I really love the color Indian yellow touched with the green gold. It makes it quite beautiful. And here's a tip that I found. I used to lighten my green gold with white. I use a titanium white when I'm using white. But then I discovered, and I started using the unbleached white. And when I use the unbleached white to touch my green, oh my goodness, it gives such a gorgeous, gorgeous highlight. I'm at my drawers here in my studio to make sure I found the right Titan Buff. Titan Buff is actually the color of the unbleached white that I use. And I just find there's something about it that brings a lot more warmth to that highlight. I find the white sometimes can get a little dull. So here I am, I'm painting some of those trees that are kind of in the background of the island. And I just love all the layers and pushing things back. And man, do I love the water. And at the end of this video, you are going to see that I finished the painting. I put in a little clip discussing how I finished it. And something that I see in the clouds. So as I'm painting the clouds coming up soon, you're going to have to watch and see if you can guess ahead of time what ends up being in those clouds, which was really unexpected. And about an hour or so in the studio later that day, I saw it and thought, oh my goodness, that is so fun. So sometimes I have to solve some problems, bringing in darks against light, using color theory, using tones, or anything like that. And here I'm painting the background, the kind of oh guys, ramble. I'm painting the greenery in the back, further back. I should erase that and just fix that for you, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna ramble with you. So soon I'm gonna be getting to the sky and how I'm doing it here. So this is an interesting thing. I tend to paint the sky from the positive shapes. So the positive shapes are the tree. So here I'm starting to build from the tree. Before I start getting into some big shapes for the sky, I'm kind of building out from that positive shape. And I don't know why. It's a technique that I've employed. I just really love to do it. So here, okay, so the whites are coming. The creams, I touch white with Naples yellow, some pink sometimes, sky blue. All of my colors are never pure. They are always mixed with something. So here I'm starting those clouds. Soon I will switch to a bigger paintbrush, but right now I'm using a finer brush because I'm getting in and close to those positive shapes. So I'm creating some direction here with some big, long strokes and filling in that canvas. So you'll see that I'm kind of doing a color wash. See how the blues are actually looking quite purple? It's because, obviously, color theory, it's mixing with the red of my canvas. So here I've switched to a bigger brush. Do you see that? So now I'm using a bigger brush because it would be just absolutely, what is the word? It'd be monotonous, it'd be boring, it'd be whatever to just be filling in that sky with the 1-inch brush that I used for most of the painting. So here I'm using a 2-inch brush and I'm using the edge of it to get close to my positive shapes, but I'm just kind of really having fun getting that paint onto the canvas. So the clouds are emerging and I stand back a lot and just check out. I do use the reference, but then I start just doing my own thing. I am the artist after all. When you are painting, feel free to change the clouds, change the shapes of the trees, make that composition suit you. You are the artist and you can decide. So we'll just watch for a few minutes here while I finish color blocking in the clouds. So maybe it'll be a little quiet right now. Okay, I couldn't do it for long. Here you see I'm starting to add some darker blues. The sky, when you're looking at it, usually is lighter at the horizon and it gets darker towards the top. And here you see a lot of green in that sky. That was because that was on my brush. I don't think I will leave that. I don't really put a lot of green in skies, but I think I will fix that when I come in with the final layers. That said, once the entire painting is fully color blocked, I will leave it for a day or two, depending on what my schedule is like. I will let it dry. I will let it get dark. And I may actually discuss that a little bit later in the video, because I know I do go back to talking. I actually have no clue what I said, what I'll be saying in the future. So you may hear this information twice. I do let it dry. I let it get darker, and then I go back in and I do the lightning. So here, a lot of people often say, "Oh, we just love the red sky." Hey guys, I've never had anybody stop me and say, "Stop, I want it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it with the red sky." No one has ever done that. And I have never sold a painting with a complete red sky that I didn't actually intentionally paint red. So you see here on this side, it's a bit of a darker blue. I am filling in I'm starting with the lighter parts of the clouds here. They will get brighter in the next layer. Remember, this is color blocking. Everything looks a little mid-tone and muted, but there's a lot of decisions made at this point, and I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this painting. Now, can you see what's developing in the clouds? I'll let you guess here. If you stop and make some comments, guess, and then eventually I'll reveal what I see. Thanks for watching along with this, and I'll get back to talking to you in just a minute. And thanks for putting up with all this rambling. Okay, so now this painting is completely color blocked. You'll see that there's lots of red showing through at this point. There's lots of, the red almost makes the blues purple because of the color combination. And I definitely am going to have to do a second round over the whole thing. The second round will have me brightening the whites and lights and bringing a little bit more interest and oomph to the stone, fixing and just adding paint where I feel like paint's too thin, that you're seeing the canvas too much. It's not going to take me days to finish. It might take me one studio session to finish. Again, of course, I'm going to be painting the edges, and I paint the edges to go around. So this little strip of land will go around the edge, then the water will go around the edge. I like all the shapes that are happening now. What do you think? Let me know what your favorite parts of watching the 2-part series is. So we did part 1 in the last video. Part 2 now is the color blocking stage, or of the complete sky and the rockery. So as much as I would love to finish this, I know from experience that I need to let it dry. I need to let it darken the way it will. And then I need a fresh eye. I need a fresh palette. I've made quite a mess of this palette. So what I'm going to do with what's left in this paint is I have a painting to embellish. I will use whatever I have left here because it's gotten kind of thick over the day. I will use that to embellish a print. And I will try to be as economical with my paint as possible. I might start a new painting. I might do, some quick blocking, or I might even start an abstract. And much to my husband's chagrin, I asked him if I could have a wall in his garage for the abstracts. This wall is doing fine, the one that he put in here, but I need to go bigger, and I need to be a little more crazy, a little more wild. So, and then I thought if I use the garage, then I could isolate that for all the oil painting stuff and do the acrylic starts in here. So, because the garage, the door could be open, a little more ventilation. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and like and subscribe like we talked about. Tell people about my video. You know, talk about it over coffee, breakfast, your dinner date. You know, talk about my videos. It's apparently a thing to do. Just kidding. Have a great day and come back. I'll have a new video next week. And here's a little bit of bonus material. I did finish this. I see a dragon in the clouds. I find that really interesting. Help me name this. I'm going to leave that dragon in the clouds. So if you name it with me, that would be super, super fun. So leave a comment below and tell me the names. So here's what I did. I crisped things up. I outlined, you can kind of see, you know, some of the rocks are outlined just a little bit. I added a birch tree or so, and I actually painted quite a bit on the water because my first strokes were fairly thin and you could still see a lot of the red showing through. I did the highlights and I did a lot more white in the clouds than what I left it. So if you go back just a few seconds and look at how I left it in the color blocking, you might be able to stop screen and then do a comparison. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. I love it. Next stage is the varnishing stage. That's going to be super exciting. It always brings out everything. See you in the next video.